Why are we here? That's a big question. No intention of answering that right now because the first few slides I'm going to skip through because I want to cut straight to the chase. We have a little slogan here: think big, start small, grow fast. Worth remembering that because that affects everything that we do. And I'll talk to you about that maybe one another time. I'll tell you a bit more about ourselves and what we do so you have confidence in us. But first, I want to give you a very, very good reason to talk to me. I'd like to ask you some questions. They're kind of like a diagnostic, and after you answer those questions, I can provide you with a roadmap. Well, a roadmap, you say, everybody's offering that kind of thing. But let's get a little more interesting now. So what if you could start with one modest video and then build up to something that is really honestly able to change the industry, the way that the real estate industry works, and certainly change your fortunes as an agency. Now, I'm talking to a few real estate agencies in Australia at the moment. There are quite a few, as you can imagine, but I only want to talk to one in each major area because that's the best or the most that I can service right now, and I don't want to compete against myself. So what's this about one modest video? Well, suppose you started off with a little video like this. I'm just going to show the video. This gets much more interesting, so please don't turn off. The video
is it time
is
to
a simple
find out
video.
what your home is worth before you put it on the market? Our newest offer will have you feeling confident about
It's a
putting your
quick
home
and
for
dirty
sale
video,
in no
very
time.
basic,
Here's your
American
chance to save big on a
voiceover.
market
Lots
evaluation
of
for your
Australians don't
home.
like
So
American
act right
voiceover.
now. Just call
And this
us
is
now or
branded for
click this
ourselves
ad for
marketing
today's
results.
fantastic deal.
We put this
Join
up
our
as a
happy clients and
demonstration
experience our
of what
amazing
can be
5-star
achieved. This
service
could be
yourself.
your video.
So take
If this
advantage
were
of
your
this
video,
one-time offer. Click this
you would have
ad or
something that
contact
looked
us
a lot
now.
more compelling, a lot more convincing, with a better message and a better script. But we could create that video for you, and in fact we're willing to create that video. It's normally $700 for a video like this. We'd be willing to do that for you at no charge. Yes, you heard me correctly, no charge. But what's the benefit of that? Well, if this video, I'm sorry, I just missed a couple of things there. So this video was listed, or was keyword optimized for a few terms, one of them being best reliable real estate agents listings. Because if I'm going to hire a real estate agent, one of the things that I want to know is that they have a capability of providing good listings and a good service. So I've gone to an incognito window just so that it's not pulling up stuff that's already on my browser. If I go to best, and now Google wants to know my location, I'm going to allow that because I want it to know about things that are near me. Best reliable estate agents listings. Now, what's going to come up for that? Well, remember the video we saw? Here it is on page 1 of Google. That's an interesting result. We could go for a number of other terms. We could look at most trustworthy estate agents. I could add a geographic modifier to this. For example, best reliable or most trustworthy real estate agent in the inner west. And you would see, play around with it yourself, you would see that this video is ranking for quite a few search terms. Interesting, because this was only uploaded 1 day ago. Now, take note of that. This was uploaded 1 day ago. We uploaded it to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And it's now showing, in fact, within an hour or so, it was showing on page 1 of Google. Now, don't let that sway you too much, because page 1 of Google is a great thing to have. You'd love to see your agency on there, especially with a nice little video. We can't guarantee that you'll always hit page 1 on video. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you do or if you don't. That seems an odd thing to say, doesn't it? Why would I say it doesn't really matter if you're on page 1 of Google or not? Incidentally, if you watch that video and click on it, you'll go to this little website, which is just a dummy site that we put up for the benefits of this purpose of this demonstration. This is a real estate website. This is a very generic one, not optimized or not made for any particular client. So that one video, which is currently showing on many places, particularly on page 1 of Google, and for several search terms, we take that video and we break it down. You remember, if you watch the video, you'll see there were some cards in there or some graphics. Now we take those graphics and we turn them into, or actually make the video from graphics, and also banner ads from graphics. So the two knit together. Now, why do we want a bunch of these different banner ads, and what are we going to do with them? Well, this is video and big data. You've heard the phrase big data. We want your ads and your video to be everywhere, not just page one of Google. What does that mean? Well, we want them to be in all sorts of places so that people will see them when they're on their mobile phone. Mobile phone has a much higher click-through rate, much higher buy rate than tablets, websites, desktops, etc. So catch people when they're relaxed, when they have their guard down a little bit, when they're doing things that entertain themselves and interest themselves, and show them your ad here. This is an example of an oil change ad. It could be anything at all. Now, that is important because these little banner ads can be placed in all sorts of places. Where do they go? Well, let me just show you something here. So if we go to a page, this is where those banner ads were created and displayed. Now, there are lots of them, lots of different sizes. I won't get into the reasons for that right now, but it's an essential part. Now, if we go to the live preview, we can look at, for example, the history channel. Now, have you ever clicked on something on the internet and then seen that advert following you around in all sorts of places? It's very common. Everybody's experienced it. It's a thing called retargeting. So if you wanted to retarget your particular business on history.com, you could get up to 303,400 daily impressions. That's how many people see it. And it would cost you $4,550 for the day's advertisement. Now, your ad would appear, remember, this is the one that we generated, just a dummy advertisement. So your ad would appear something like this. We can go somewhere like, let's have a look at CNN. Now, this is heavily Americanized. We'll obviously make this an Australian, much more localized version. Everything that we show for America also applies to the UK, to Australia, to Canada, to pretty much any country. So Amazon.com, or sorry, CNN.com, and here's your little ad, and that would cost you $32,000. We could go Fox News. Fox News is a Donald Trump favorite, isn't it? Now, Fox News would cost you $12,000 for a day's ad, and your ad would show up. Where is it gone? Where's it gone? It should be here somewhere, relatively. Oh, can't see it. Here it is, right at the top. Look, there we go, above the fold, which is the best place to be. So your banner ads and your video, this is for video as well as banner ads, can appear on all of these very, very high profile sites. Now, don't worry at the moment about how that's done or how much it costs. That's my problem to solve, and I will solve it for you. So these are take a video, generate some banner ads, put them everywhere along with the video, and advertise to people on their mobile phones. This is driven by big data again, and big data, you can get fresh, hyper-targeted visitors. So, for example, you can target exactly the addresses that you want. If you're focused on a particular geographic area, or even if you've got a particular project, maybe you've got a design build project, or maybe you've got one particular high value or high profile client, you want to sell their property, you can do that here as well. So you can target anywhere that you want. You can target everyone in your service center. Now, by service center, we mean your sales office, really. So everyone who comes to your sales office, you can target them. Surprise, surprise. You can target the exact people that you want. With big data, you have much, much more accurate demographic and interest-based choices. We can, for example, target people who are looking to buy a new Volvo, people looking to buy a house in a particular area. The amount of information that big data has on you, which is taken from all sorts of places, is phenomenal. So what we can do on big data is target much, much more accurately and specifically than is possible with, for example, AdWords or Google or Facebook. And incidentally, this is called big data for a reason. This is across the open web. Google and Facebook are little walled ecosystems. They're only good for Google and Facebook. They're around about 25% or more of the actual market. This is the other 75% of the market. So it's more targeted. It's easier to get to the people that you want. It's less competitive. AdWords, as you probably know, is becoming more and more expensive. And it is possible to use this in very, very sophisticated ways to do things that can't be done with Google AdWords, etc. For example, we can also nurture fresh visitors and your current or past clients, customers, as well as, look at this, your competitors' customers or clients. So we said we could target everyone in your service center. We can actually target everyone who's been in your service center in the last 12 months. Now, bear in mind, there are caveats involved. This is technology. When I say everyone, I don't mean every single individual. In general terms, everyone. So we can target everyone in your service center over the last 12 months, but we can target them wherever they go. So we're not restricted. One product is hyperlocal. It's only targeting people in this area. This is a product which we call time tunneling, where we can target those people and follow them wherever they go. But interestingly enough, we can target everyone in your competitors' service centers over the last 12 months and follow them wherever they go. This is pretty powerful stuff. And it's not available to most agencies at the moment. Well, it actually is, but no one knows about it and nobody's used it. So again, we target your competitors' customers. We target them where they are, when they're relaxed, when they're on the phone. We hit them with a message. The message that we use, the graphics that we use, the video that we build is much more effective when it's tailored for your specific agency. Beyond that, we can cultivate the customer or client life cycle. You heard of this retargeting thing. Retargeting typically is when a pixel fires when someone visits a website, opens an email, whatever, and then they see a message. You've probably seen the same. I've got messages, or actually adverts, for products that I looked at buying 10 years and more ago, and they're still following me around today. Now, there are much better ways to do it than that. We have a thing we call the 10 times retargeting funnel. So we show different messages at different times, and that does two things. One, it avoids banner blindness, and two, it appeals to different people at different times and with different offers. Now, this is just for a retargeting pixel, but we can fire a pixel when they visit a site, when they open an email, when they make an application, when they fail the application. So we can offer them specific ads, specific messages crafted to wherever they are in the sales funnel or pipeline. This can become extremely sophisticated and extremely effective. So that's the story so far. Let's get this right, or we shouldn't go any further together. I hope that I've told you enough to make you pick up the phone and call me right now to make an appointment, because this is a very, very small window of opportunity. We've been working on this for years, and it's cost me a lot more money and a lot more time than I anticipated. We are rolling out now. We're rolling out and ramping and banking this, and we want specific types of agencies to work with. And we're going to be quite picky. I'll be honest, we're going to be fairly picky. You saw some of the qualifying criteria on an earlier slide. So thank you very much if you've got this far. If you haven't, then you won't be hearing me anyway. But thank you very much for your time. Please do pick up the phone and call me, or click on the link in the email that this comes with and make an appointment. We can chat. All we do is chat. It takes about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how many questions you have, it might take longer. And then if you like what you hear, we'll put together a draft costing and a draft proposal. And I promise you, this does not cost anywhere near as much as you're thinking. And it does not take anywhere near as long as you're thinking. And it doesn't take hardly any work, effort, time, or resource from your perspective. We do all the heavy lifting. We're very, very well versed in this. We've got a very strong track record in this. And we're just rolling this out now to the real estate industry, where it hasn't really been adopted or used effectively so far. Now, there's more to it than that, but that'll do. You've already had too much for one day. So thank you very much and have a good day.